Hello students, this is your week 3 at-home inquiry, Are the Tools Worth It instructional video. This is the third assignment in week 3, and again, make sure you do this in order so that way you get all the background information you need in order to be successful with this assignment. Now, the week 3 at-home inquiry assignment is going to be the last assignment where we use our week 2 at-home inquiry pennies and rulers information. And the main goal of this assignment is to use graphs to assess the accuracy and precision of the tools that we used, and to see which one is ultimately better if one of them is. The assignment will take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and some students it might take up to 30. But again, make sure you follow the directions, and whether you read or watch the video, it'll help you to know what to do. Now, with this assignment, to enter to get your instructions, you're going to click on the week 3 at-home inquiry, Are the Tools Worth It title. And it'll lead you into the threads that are already pre-made for you. You want to go into the group that you belonged to for the week 2 assignment where we actually used a specific tool. Now, I did more data collection with the measuring app that is on phones. But again, it's based on whatever group you are in based on your last name. Each group has the same amount of work. They do the same thing. It's just a different tool that they're using. So I'm going to go into group 3 results because that was the group I did the most work with. And again, the instructions are going to be the same no matter what group you're in. And the ultimate goal is to make a line graph with the data that we had to see if we can see any accuracy or precision with our data as well as other students. So there is some information here. What you're going to need, again, is your week 2 at-home inquiry pennies and rulers assignment open. Now, whether that is a Word document you had saved or a separate piece of paper that you wrote on, either way, you're going to need that information, specifically the data that you collected. You want to make sure you watch this assignment this video on how to make a line graph. It's going to walk you through those steps because that's what we're going to use. And then when you're ready, you're going to use Microsoft Excel to make your graph. And again, that is using Microsoft Office. If you don't have Microsoft Excel, or if you use a different program, that is fine. However, you need to make sure you use some type of program to do this. And Microsoft Excel is the one that I prefer. You can get this for free from your email. So if you need instructions on how to do that, let me know. But you're going to be making 2 graphs. One graph is going to be just your data alone, so 20 values. And then the other graph is going to be your data plus 2 other students' data. And that's going to be 2 other students who are in the same group as you, so they can't be in a different group. If you're in group 3, for example, the other students' data points have to be from group 3 as well. So you'll have 2 separate graphs. Both of the graphs are going to be looking at the diameter of the pennies that you measured and the amount of measurements for each value. For example, if you have a 19.1 millimeter data value, you might have 4 or 5 of those readings. So that's what it means in terms of the number of the data value. You have 5 of those readings, for example. So you'll need to count how many of each data value readings you have, and that's going to be what you're going to graph. And again, you have to focus on what value should be on the bottom and what value should be on your vertical or y-axis. Make sure you have all of the pieces of the graph that are needed, which would include a title, axes, labels, and then a scale for your x and y axis. And again, you need 2 graphs. Now, when you go find the other students' data, what you're going to need to do is go back to the week 2 folder, and you can do that again by clicking on this part 1, weeks 1 through 8 link here. And that'll bring you back into the option of going into week 2. When you're in week 2, you'll go to the week 2 at-home inquiry pennies and rulers discussion, and that's going to be where you're going to find the other data from other 2 students. Now, when you are ready, you'll have those 2 graphs, and then there's some questions to answer based on the graphs you had. And we're going to look at the overall shape of the graph and any trends you might see. And then we're also going to look at accuracy and precision to see if our graph shows us one thing or another. And we're going to compare that to what our previous idea of whether it was accurate or precise based on our average and our range and things like that. And then the very last question is actually something you'll do where you'll look at 2 other students' posts within this discussion And I want you to look at their graphs and see how they compare to yours. Did they have similar values or a similar shape to their graph? Was it different? And what does that say in terms of accuracy and precision from their standpoint versus your own? So again, make sure that you look at these. I'm looking for well-written sentences. I want you to support whatever statements you make based on either numbers or what you see in the graph, and that's going to be what I look for the most. And then again, making sure your graph has everything it needs, proper variables, and make sure it has all the pieces needed, like the title and things like that. So that's going to be what you do for this assignment post. When you're ready, you'll hit on this blue reply button here to reply to the actual thread itself. And then you'll attach your graphs here, whether they're a Microsoft Excel file or they could be screenshots. Whatever way that you want to go about giving us your graph is up to you. But either way, we do need to see the graph. So that's how you'll attach that, or you can attach an image using this icon here. And that is another way of going about including if you have like a screenshot or something like that. And then you'll type your answers into the submission text. And when you have everything done, you'll hit that blue submit button here in the bottom right. That submits it for grading for me. Now, if you get stuck, if you're confused, if you want to meet with me to have me help you do this, that is awesome. Make sure you pay attention to my office hours. If I'm not in my office, you can email me or text me and I can answer your questions that way, or we can set up a time to meet. Just make sure that you get this done before you move on into the last assignment for week 3. Again, good luck. Let me know if you need anything, and let's get going.